Okay, let's see. All right. All right. Alysha is here. Perfect. All right, let's see how we can get her on. Yay! I think this is working. Yay! All right. How's it going?
Good. I was a little nervous about that live.
Frozen.
So. But
Same. Absolutely same. I'm with you.
Woo.
All right. Okay, so let's do it, lady. All right. So first thing is this is Alysha. We have been working together for 6 months. So I just wanted to interview her for everybody on her experience with the Balance Training Blueprint. So just introduce yourself, whatever you feel comfortable with. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. So thank you for having me. I'm so excited and very nervous. Just knowing, So my name is Alysha Brooks. I live in a very small town in upstate New York. I would describe, to introduce myself first and say, I'm a Pisces. I'm an Enneagram Type 4. I'm an empath. I'm a very highly sensitive person, so I'm a feeler. I'm a giver. I feel everything. I'm married to my husband. Our anniversary is next week. We've been married 9 years, 8 years. We've been together for 10 years. He is an over-the-road truck driver, and together we have 3 kids. And for my career, I guess I describe myself as an entrepreneur right now, as I'm trying to decide, I'm getting a business going or expanding it and trying to decide what direction to go in. So yeah, this is my little introduction.
Hey, yeah, 3 kids, little kids too. So superwoman, super mom. So first question is, where was your health prior to starting the Balance Training Blueprint?
Okay, so in order to answer this, I kind of got to go back a tiny bit. Yeah. So I had my first son in 2015. I gained a ton of weight. I have always been someone that has strived to be as tiny as possible. In high school, I weighed as low as 95 pounds at one point. So after I had my first son, I gained a ton of weight, and I was okay with it. I was fine with it. And then one day someone asked me when I was having my baby, and I went home and was like, okay, I wasn't even sad. I was just like, all right, Alysha, you've enjoyed, you've indulged. Now it's time to get my head in the gear. And I wasn't feeling great about myself at the time. So I started working out, just doing small workouts and feeling better and better each day. I got pregnant with my second son, and my plan was to work out while I was pregnant with him. And that did not happen. He sat on my lower back the entire pregnancy and made it so hard for me to do anything. I had to do physical therapy after I was pregnant with him because he killed me. So at this point, so in 2017, while I'm pregnant with my son, Asher, my husband asked if he could start going on the road as a truck driver. And he had asked me before, and I had said no. And I said, you know what? Do it. Let's do it. I can do this. At the time, I'm painting my second son's room while pregnant with him with all the windows open and fans going. I'm like, I can do anything. I got this. So in 2018, Asher was 4 months. Micah starts driving. He had to go through all the paperwork and all that. So a year later, he starts driving, and it was so hard. I was not ready for it. I had a very hard time asking for help. And in July of that year, I got a promotion at work. And I was super excited. But I went from working around people to being stuck in an office. So I had a huge change at home, and then I had this huge change at work, and I didn't know what to do. I was getting very overwhelmed. I started showing up late to work. I felt very uneasy. I started doing what I always do, and that's restrict food. I started, yeah, like just started just not eating. And then January, I believe it was January 3rd, 2019. Yes, it was January 2019. And I heard the song Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Oh. And he says in it, like, are you tired of this modern world? And I was like, I'm so tired of this. I can't live like this anymore. I'm done. That day I decided I was leaving my job. I gave my notice 3 days later for a 3-month. I gave them plenty of time to find someone. Me and my husband decided, you know what? We're going to try for another baby. Like, I'm leaving my job. We might do it now. Because that was a smart decision. Well, we had actually found out we were already pregnant. And that's when things really went downhill for me. My health, my mental, like, well-being, I just wasn't here anymore. I was just always just trying to figure out what I needed to do next because I wasn't feeling happy. So I was like looking for happiness on the outside. Yeah. And by doing that, I stopped taking care of my inside. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had lost 20 pounds. And it was because I just wasn't eating. Yeah. And then I'm throwing up from the hormones. And this lasted up until about a month ago. So yes. Yeah. So for about 2 years now, I have restricted eating up until about a month and a half ago. And then I also had a purging disorder, which is a lot of people don't know about it. I forced myself to throw up every morning to kind of handle the craziness, to handle my weight, just, feeling out of control. Right. So before I joined you, I was not doing very well. My health was down, my wellness was down, and I was just really ready to make a huge change. Just anything. Yeah. And that oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. So yeah, just like I remember like our first conversation and like relating so much. Like I scheduled like a 15-minute call and we talked for over an hour because we were just yes, been there, done that, relate 100%. So I've told you then and I've told you now, I've told you a bunch and I'm going to remind you now, like you are so amazing. Like your strength and like bravery, and I'm going to cry, of just like, I think I cry every time I do this. Like, it's just really inspiring. And like that you like, continue to like take action toward your goals, and like, not just like physical goals or like aesthetic goals, but like, toward yourself to like be a better mom, wife, friend, like sister. It's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so all right, now this is when I really start to cry. Okay, so how has your life changed, and like how has your health changed as a result of like starting your journey? So when I first started my journey, we had decided that I was going to focus on what type of food I was going to eat. And at this point, you did not know about my restrictive eating. Nobody knew but me. It was like my little secret. Yeah. So started that, and it wasn't working. So every week, me and you were trying to figure out like, how can we make this work? Where are we going? Like, how can I help you? And one day I realized that the only way I was going to get better is if I told the world my secret, and I started with my husband. Yeah. And a huge part of that was because of this journey. I knew I couldn't go forward. Like there was no going forward until I got rid of that. And the only way I was going to get rid of that was to get it out. And that was by telling people. And that's so hard. I cried for 3 days after I told my husband because it was this thing that was mine and now it wasn't there anymore. I couldn't cope. Like I was just like, it's gone. Now I have to really get better. And as much as I saw a light at the end of the tunnel, it was a very scary light. And, you know, so many people, when I tell them, their first question is like, why? Why would you make yourself throw up? And it was like, trust me, I don't know. Like, it's just like this.
I might not have done it.
Yes, like it's just like this coping mechanism that I grabbed onto and I used. And so when I joined this, I knew that I needed to somehow like change. I had to change. And, you know, if I'm putting money down and I'm telling someone my goals, like I'm putting it out there, you know, and so I think that was like the biggest thing was joining this made me realize that I had to let go of those toxic behaviors or I was never going to move forward. I was just going to keep staying in the same spot. And that's what kept happening is I wasn't moving forward and we just kept going back. We'd go forward and then go back and then go forward and then go back. And then the moment that I told everybody and talked to you, we've now been able to move forward so many more steps because it's like, oh, all right, this is what, you know, you were able to say like, okay, we need to get away from the food. Like this isn't healthy. And we've talked about now we're going to focus on my fitness journey. And I feel so much more excited about it. I feel like there's like, there really is this huge light at the end of the tunnel. And this is that joining you was that thing that I had to do in order to get a step closer.
Oh my God, you're so amazing. And I know that like you're like new to like, you know, speaking your truth and like telling your story. So one, I want to say like thank you for feeling like you could like share that here and like share that with me. Oh God, here I go with the tears. So it just is like, it means a lot. So thank you for that. And you have such an awesome story. So I want to encourage you to keep telling it. Like I have like, I've told my story and there are like still parts of my story where I am like, oh my God, like I'm ashamed or I'm embarrassed about this. But when I let go of that and realize that at the end of the day, there's somebody else who they need to hear this story, that makes it more worth it. You know what I mean?
My dogs are crazy for a second, so that's why I muted.
Oh, I was like, get out of here. Like as soon as I was start, they were like, a leaf blew by the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day is it's like there's so many things wrapped around you know, eating disorders and shame. It's like there's so many things that you're more okay with telling the world about that you would think would be so much more shameful than this. And I said it to my mom the other day and she was like, well, because it's scary, you know, someone that is going against your natural, you know, a natural thing that you're born to want to do. It's very shameful and it's confusing. It's very confusing.
Yeah. And that like shame just breed like the
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My dog.
Okay.
There she goes.
On dog. Yeah. Everybody downstairs. Close the gate. Okay, so were you skeptical of joining? And then like what ultimately made you decide to commit?
So I definitely was.
Yeah.
When I was on Instagram and I had a couple like fitness coaches follow me and reach out to me, I'm just like, yeah, okay. And then what made me see you differently was the fact that like I could see that you weren't just sending a message that was like sent to every single person. You
Yeah.
were individually messaging me based on what you were seeing on my page. And I had posted that I was doing like this like 7-day like cleanse, and you like messaged me and you're like, no, please don't do this. And I was like, oh, this girl like really cares. Like, you didn't just write a message and put me down. You were like actually concerned, and you didn't get off of that message until you knew that I was not going to do it anymore.
Oh my, for that. Like, I remember like asking questions like, why are you doing this? Like, what do you hope to achieve? What are your goals? Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I know, girl, you don't know me, but don't do that.
Yes. And then I looked at your page and I saw like a lot of your clients and started seeing like what other people were saying about you. And I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. And then I read more into it. And then I was like, okay, I want to meet you and talk to you and just to see. And then at that point, my husband was super skeptical. He's like,
Husband's always
what?
hard.
Yeah. And like, and I had told him, I'm like, you know, I I have tried doing this by myself now for so long and it's not working. And there's this girl that's reaching out to me that wants to help me, that knows what I need to know. I'm like, I might as well like just try it.
Ah.
And he has seen a huge improvement in me, and I've seen a huge improvement, and I'm so glad that I decided to join 100%. It was the best decision.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
Seriously, like,
So much.
it's so crazy, like, you know, and on Instagram we see so many people reaching out to us like on a daily basis, like, and I felt like the way you did it wasn't insulting, and it was out of like, you know, care. You cared. You know,
Yeah.
there's some people reach out to you and like, hey, I have this like product that'll help you lose weight, and it's like, excuse me, do you think I need to lose weight? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So yes, I was definitely a skeptical, and I joined because I literally felt like I had tried everything I could and I couldn't, and I found someone that actually like I felt cared. So
Oh, so much. You've been the best. Thank you so much for doing this with me and for like being honest and being vulnerable. I love it. I love it. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, I mean, that's it. But I did just want to, before I forget, is tell you to text me privately, obviously, your address, because I have something I want to send you.
okay.
Okay. Yay! All right, lady, thank you so much. So I will chat with you soon. And now I got to figure out how to like turn this off.
And like, one thing I do want to add is, if anybody is like wondering if this is like the right thing to do, you know, so many people that you work with are trying to lose weight. And
Yeah.
I'm in a completely different journey. And I watched one of your lives, and that girl was in a completely different journey.
That's
So
right.
remember, like, this is for anyone. Like, Chelsea is trying to help you no matter what. She's not just, she's trying to help you be a better person. And it's definitely worth it. Just try it. Just try it. That's what it's.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
The worst that could happen. Yeah. Aw, I love you so much. Thank
Love you too.
I will talk to you soon.
Yes.
Bye.